The subject of this message is the cost of free public school education for illegal aliens and the makeup of America by race. All you folks know that we have been lied to all our lives about the realities of race. Our enemies want to destroy America and merge Western civilization, what remains, into a raceless one-world dictatorship, where everyone is equal except those at the top, and they are more equal, and those few have access to all the wealth of the world at their fingertips. 40 years ago, when I started research and reading about all the conspiracies, the facts, one of the hardest things for me to understand was the concept of communism and socialism, which are the same. They are people destroying ideologies, destroyed by people who are genetic, narcissistic psychopaths. The storyline is this: capture the assets of those people that have wealth, redistribute it to everyone else, and there will be equality. Equality is the final goal of all man and womankind. In Russia, they used class inequality to make people mad enough to kill all the people with wealth, about 40 million of their best, then afterward steal all those assets of wealth. Except they did not redistribute the wealth to the people who had no wealth. The state, the government, took control of it. Everything was state-owned, and everyone but the ones at the tops were equal in dire poverty of equality. Everyone was the same, except those at the top. The ones at the top, God's chosen to be at the top, had access to all the wealth of the nation, did what they wanted to with it. It was just that they were more equal. Because they were God's chosen to rule over the world, God loved them more, otherwise they could not be God's chosen. What they have done in America is flood it with people that are the best peons, peasants, zombies, parrots, Stone Age, but also people who want what wealthy people have in America, and are willing to steal the wealth from people that have it, in one way or another. They do not use a gun or knife to steal it. They use laws enacted by our enemies from within to steal our wealth. We cannot go to a government data center, the media, the news people, history books, public education, or TV programming to find out what the racial makeup of America looks like in 2025. They lie to us. But with some thought, we can get a ballpark estimate of where we white people are in this racially mixed-up nation. We start with a solid base, 1960 data. The facts: America population 1960 was 150 million. Today, 350 million, and white baby making has been less than replacement rate, 2.1 per couple, for 40 years. 1960 was 90% white, 9% descendant of former slaves, 1% other, that being Mexican, about 750,000, and Asian. White would be 135 million in 1960, and today also, estimated. The Treasonous Immigration Act of 1965 declares 1 million a year, and the language guarantees 99% not white. The math: 350 million population today, 135 million whites today, 215 million not whites in America. Today, 62% of total is not white. 215 million not white minus 60 million legal immigration from 1965 Immigration Act equals 155 million not whites and their children, minus estimate 40 million descendants of former slaves equals 115 million illegals in America today. Since 1960, from past 65 years of open borders. That is 175 million immigrants since 1960. 60 million legal, 115 million illegal. How many of the 115 were made legal through stealth? Cost to educate an illegal: $15,000 a year, rhymes 12 years equals $180,000 times 50 million since 1960 equals $9 trillion, 1/3 the national debt. And of course this is only education. Add up everything free they received, it might equal half national debt. We whites are 38% of the national population now, and 90% of the boomers will be dead in 10 years, 73 million times 90%, leaving us with 69 million whites in America. In 10 years equals 20% of the total of 350 million. Concerning any racial subject you have been lied to your entire life, there really is an elephant in the room, White people, you are a conquered people by enemies from within, and your nation is permanently lost unless you figure a way to stop it. Maybe you can, but the odds are against that. God Yahweh and God Jesus can do it. Most likely you cannot. A final thought: when Columbus and Cortez came to the Americas 500 years ago, what they found was 100% Stone Age people. Never seen iron or a wheel, and history books expect you to believe they built the great monuments in Mexico and Peru with a sharp rock in one hand and a hammer rock in the other, while fighting off hunger and day-to-day survival. These humanoids are still Stone Age genes. It is just they live in an advanced society. But the genes are still Stone Age. They cannot manage any society beyond Stone Age for very long. Everything is just going to stop working. That aspect has already started. But when whites become 20% of America, in 10 years it gets a lot worse. Technically, mechanically, we will be living in a broke world society in 10 years, even worse than it is now. In a short time, society is going to quit working. Stone Age will always be Stone Age. And they are going to want what is yours, if what is yours is more than what they currently have. Be well armed. Be prepared to fight for your life. Start thinking of yourself as a tribe, the Great White Tribe. They are our enemies. It is just we, as a people, do not know it yet. But we will. Also think about how your religion has become a Marxist religion. Everyone is the same in God's eyes. We all pray to the same God, all 9 billion. Except Jews are God's chosen people. So they are more equal than the other people, the dumb goyim. We are all the same, the dumb goyim, not God's chosen. And the truth is, we have been incredibly dumb, as a people, white people, for a very long time to let this happen to us. Happen to us while we slept, with a fat belly, and a Marxist Jesus leading us to racial bliss.